Before we get into today's episode, I have to tell you something you've actually been asking for years. One of the most common messages I get is, why don't you have a Mind Love community? Well, I listened, but I wanted to create something that wasn't just another Facebook group. I wanted a space where we could actually grow together with purpose and direction, which is why I created Living Mind Love. Every month, our community is going to explore one powerful focus area together, breaking it down into simple micro practices that actually stick. There's always something new to look forward to, always progress to celebrate, so you'll understand the neuroscience, connect with the spiritual wisdom, and most importantly, have a whole community supporting your growth every step of the way. Honestly, the community alone would be worth it. And I know people are going to join for just that, but we're going so much deeper than that. This is the most value-packed resource for learning and growing together that I've ever seen, let alone created. So you'll be part of the first ever Mind Love community on School, where transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. So if you're ready to grow with an amazing group of like-minded souls, go to mindlove.com/living to join the waitlist. And you'll get instant access to my 10-year vision meditation. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome to Mind Love Premium episode 35. Today's episode is all about opening up to share your truth.
If you can just take a baby step and do it anyway and be like, listen, I probably am going to get judged for this, but I'm just going to share it anyway. The more you do that, the more you practice it, even if you are judged, I think it is empowering. I think that the more we share, the more we tiptoe towards finding our voice, it does the opposite of what we think it's going to do. We think that judgment is going to pound us into the ground. But for me, it ended up building self-confidence. The more I shared, the more I understood exactly where I stood, the more I felt like myself.
What do people really know about you? Do you have things that you just wouldn't dare to share? I get it. We all have those things. But I also think that we have more of those things than we should. Think about it. We wonder why we feel so lonely, but at the same time, we don't really tend to let people in. How can we ever feel fully known or accepted if most people don't even really know who we are? Collectively, we spend a lot of time and effort crafting these perfect lives to post online. We spend hours scrolling through each other's highlight reels. And then we have this false sense of comparison because how in the world does Brittany from college still have that body after 4 kids, and even more mind-blowing, how are there never any stains on her kids' clothes? And personally, I still don't understand how every influencer seems to have all white and beige furniture and clothing. I swear, I just think about putting on a white shirt and I mentally spill coffee on it. There's just no way. So we compare, and then we realize that we'll never live up to everyone else's perfection, and we create even more shame around our lives than we're already carrying. But even worse, when we only allow ourselves to share these perfect versions of our own lives, we create an impossible comparison for ourselves. I remember when the Facetune app first launched like 10 years ago, the app that lets you go scrub out your wrinkles or cinch your waist. Well, I will be honest, I went totally ham, you guys. I was cinching my waist, removing wrinkles, lifting my butt, and then a friend invited me on their boat, and I didn't want to go because I felt fatter than the pictures I had been posting. How sad is that? But even just putting other people aside for a second, every time I looked in the mirror, I was comparing myself to my own edited images. Whether it's photos or just details about our lives, human connection doesn't happen through perfection. The very nature of being human is to be flawed and a little bit messy. I used to have so much shame because of my past. I had been the kid that everyone expected to succeed, and somehow I felt like I pissed it all away. I felt like I did everything wrong. I let my grades slip. I dropped out of college when I was almost done. I screwed up my stomach with an eating disorder. I blew all of my savings on stupid shit. Got myself into debt. Got a DUI, drove on a suspended license, took the fault for somebody else's crime. You guys, these weren't tiny mistakes, you guys. These were mistakes that were going to follow me forever. Well, when I started working on myself and trying to get my life back on track, for a while I felt like I had 2 personas. The person that I was becoming, that I was proud of, and then the person that I had been, the one who screwed everything up. And I couldn't figure out how to accept both people at the same time, so I just hid the messed up girl. But deep down, I was always afraid that someone was going to uncover who I really was. So I could never really accept the person I was becoming because she felt like a mask more than a transformation. Well, it was only about 6 years ago that I started sharing the truth of my life. And what's interesting is none of the things I was afraid of even happened. My past didn't discount the person I was becoming. It actually gave her more depth. People were even more interested. But the most rewarding part is that I started to see how many people were holding on to their shame too. And sharing mine gave them permission to be a little more honest about their lives, which was the first step of letting some of that shame go. And listen, this isn't just true about these big, shameful things. It's true for all the little struggles and the mistakes that we go through. Like taking your eye off your kid at the park for a second and having 3 minutes of absolute terror and feeling like a horrible mom. Or the fact that your house is always a little bit of a mess. Or your financial hardships. All of these things are part of the human experience, and they're more common than you might even realize. What if instead of holding on to these things, you opened up a little? What if you trusted that you're always doing the best you can with what you know at the time, and you felt worthy no matter how many little mistakes or big mistakes that you've made? How freeing would that feel? How would your friendships change if they were based on the real you instead of this curated version of you? How would your conversations change if they went a little bit further than surface level? Well, today we're going to open up a little, or at least learn how. And our guest is Laura Tremaine. She's a writer and fellow podcaster, and she's the author of Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First. And it's all about opening up and forming deeper friendships by getting a little more personal. 3 key things we will learn are why your fears about oversharing are probably invalid, how to get past your fear of shame, and how to add more depth to your friendships. Hey there, wild minds. So this was just a preview, but you can access the whole episode with a Mind Love Premium membership. If Mind Love has been helpful to you in any way, consider helping support the show by joining this exclusive community. I promise I'm making it totally worth it. You get exclusive episodes, which means twice the Mind Love, in a private feed that imports right to your favorite podcast app, so you don't have to go to the web to listen. And that's not all. You also get all Mind Love episodes ad-free for uninterrupted listening. You get early access to episodes, and you get bonus video interviews and powerful meditation downloads. And finally, you get priority access to me, so you're free to reach out to me with any questions that you have about life, love, relationships, success, whatever it might be. And in more good news, you can get started free with a 2-week free trial. Just go to mindlove.com/premium. And if you're a student, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll give you a special discount.